And pray that all of us marry men that don't simply see us as mates. To give birth 2 days ago, and let me remind you, when you're giving birth, tienes un pie en la tierra y un pie en la tumba. There's so many women that don't even make it out of birth. And if you do make it out of birth by the grace of God, you're supposed to rest because your body just went through one of the most traumatic experiences it could ever go through. If you continue watching the video, he says, my mom and dad like it when you make a roast. Okay, and they're coming over. Can you make a roast? Let me just remind anyone and everyone who's watching, if you're going to go visit a mother who just gave birth within the last year, you have zero expectations from the mom. You don't expect a clean house. You don't expect them to bring you water. You don't expect them to bring you food. You don't expect them to do anything, because they're probably highly overwhelmed by taking care of a baby.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we're discussing a guy who was telling his wife to prepare a big meal for his parents 2 days after she delivered a baby. So let's check out the video, then I'll come back with my thoughts on the whole issue.
Pardon?
Can you do a roast?
You want me to do a roast?
Yeah.
Can I just remind you of something? I gave birth 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, and you came out of the hospital straight away. You've been sitting around all this time, so you can make a roast.
To
sure.
send me home to get rest at home.
Yeah, but you've been doing nothing but resting. Look at all these cups of tea for a start. I mean, look, I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sorry that I need caffeine to keep going with a newborn baby.
Yeah, and it's not easy for me either. Right, I didn't give birth, no, but I'm not sleeping like you, so I'm knackered. You're awake. So, my mum and dad are coming, and you know what they're like, they always want a roast, so...
They always want a roast, but I've not just given birth 2 days before. You can get up and make it yourself.
Look, you do it much better than I do. We know that. I've tried. It's a waste of time, me.
Why are you gaslighting me?
I'm not gaslighting you. You always say I'm gaslighting you. I'm not.
You're trying to manipulate me into making a roast for your mum and dad because you can't be asked, well, do you know what? I've just cooked for the last 9 months. Your kid.
Yeah. I'll sit with them, with the baby, talk to them. You've got like a couple of hours to yourself.
Oh, you sit on your ass with the baby while I'm stood slaving over a hot stove. It doesn't work like that.
Sit on my ass with the baby, so you're saying it's easy then? Yeah, so if that's the case, then you can go in the kitchen then, can't you? What's the problem?
What the heck? That guy really has a problem. I don't understand. Oh, my mom and dad are coming, and you know they always want a roast. But I don't think anybody coming to visit a new mother is supposed to be expecting anything at that time. 2 days, like seriously 2 days after giving birth. And it's not like you've been sitting around doing nothing. What is she supposed to do? She just gave birth 2 days ago. So she's supposed to still be cleaning and doing everything and taking care of the baby. And I'm sure he's not doing anything concerning the baby. The only thing is that he probably cannot sleep when the baby is screaming or crying. And he's like, she's just drinking tea. First of all, she's not supposed to be drinking so much tea with caffeine when she has the baby. She's supposed to be taking other nutritious kind of fluids. Not one with caffeine, because if she's breastfeeding, the caffeine can also go through the breast milk to the kid, and I don't believe that caffeine is good in newborn babies. So she's not even supposed to be taking tea like that. But because she has a God forgive me, useless person as a husband, she probably needs the caffeine, the tea, to make her awake or let her stay awake while she's taking care of the baby, because obviously that person is not useful and she doesn't have any help. So maybe that's why she's taking the tea. But that aside, that man is just something else. Any which way, people had things to say about this whole situation. So let's check out their reaction, and then I will come back with more thoughts on postpartum care for mothers.
I cannot believe what I'm about to show you.
Can I just on your ass with the baby while I'm stood slaving over a hot stove? It doesn't work like that.
Sit my ass with the baby, so you're saying it's easy then? Yeah, so if that's the case, then you can go in the kitchen then, can't you? What's the problem?
2 days. He must not have been in that operating room. If he would have seen what I've seen from my 3 children, he would understand. 2 days. And he wants her back in the kitchen. Come on.
You want me to do a roast? Can I just remind you of something? I gave birth 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, and you came out of the hospital straight away. You've been sitting around all this time, so if you make a roast,
To
sure.
send me home to get rest at home.
Yeah, but you've been doing nothing but resting. Look at all these cups of tea for a start. I mean, look, I'm just
Oh, I'm
saying.
sorry that I need caffeine to keep going with a newborn baby.
Yeah, and it's not easy for me either. Right, I didn't give birth, no, but I'm not sleeping like you.
And pray that all of us marry men that don't simply see us as mates. To give birth 2 days ago, and let me remind you, when you're giving birth, tienes un pie en la tierra y un pie en la tumba. There's so many women that don't even make it out of birth. And if you do make it out of birth by the grace of God, you're supposed to rest because your body just went through one of the most traumatic experiences it could ever go through. If you continue watching the video, he says, my mom and dad like it when you make a roast. Okay, and they're coming over. Can you make a roast? Let me just remind anyone and everyone who's watching, if you're going to go visit a mother who just gave birth within the last year, you have zero expectations from the mom. You don't expect a clean house. You don't expect them to bring you water. You don't expect them to bring you food. You don't expect them to do anything because they're probably highly overwhelmed by taking care of a baby. And then the man says, well, I'm really tired too. Yeah, but you didn't just give birth. And I don't know that men will ever understand that. I hope and pray that all of us marry wholesome men that will take care of us when we're putting our life on the line to bring children into our family. That's what I hope and pray for all of us.
If this is real, I just want to pop this guy in the back of the head.
Can you do a roast?
You want me to do a roast?
Yeah.
Can I just remind you of something? I gave birth.
2 days ago, she gave birth 2 days ago to his child. They've just been released from the hospital like a day ago. She's at home, obviously trying to recover. Her doctor told her to take it easy, obviously, because she just had a baby. And he comes up and he goes, can you do a roast? And she goes, I just had a baby. And he goes, yeah, but you've been sitting around for 2 days, so you should be fine. And I haven't been sleeping, so, I think you're more well-rested than I am. Boy! And then he tries to gaslight her. She's like, you know what? If you want to roast, you can make a roast. Go crazy. Actually, I think it'd be, really nice. You can make it. And he goes, no, we've tried it. You do it so much better than I do. So you have to do it. Sprinkling in some weaponized incompetence. I've said it before. I will say it again. Normalize letting incompetent men starve.
You want me to do a roast?
Yeah.
Can I just remind you of something?
That just made my bumhole itch. Men. I know not all men, but there's a good majority of y'all that think like this man. So what do you think happens after we give birth? It's like a Summer's Eve commercial. You running through the fields just feeling all great? Because I could tell you it ain't nothing like that. Matter of fact, yeah. Somebody go teach y'all y'all need to go back and sit down and learn the birds and the bees and what happens after you give birth, because I don't think majority of y'all have a clue. Oh, that's my food. Bye.
I gave birth 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, and you came out of the
If you listen to that video, that is a clear example of what it's like when you're with the man that doesn't like you. Some of you are in a relationship and you're complaining because you're with a man that doesn't like you. You're with a man that just finds you irritating, but he's not leaving. He's going to be there until you are fed up, stressed out, and you start aging. Okay? Remember, somebody has to like you before they love you. And a man that likes you, that really, really likes you, will sympathize with the fact that you've just given birth to a whole human being. Okay? What he's requesting for is not the problem, but the fact that he's not putting into consideration that she's just given birth. Let me tell you, when a man lives with a woman that he doesn't like, he finds that woman irritating. Not only does he find her irritating, it's like something in him feels like he's allergic to you. He don't want to be around you. He don't want to chill out with you. Anything that makes you happy, he's going to make sure that it doesn't happen for you because he doesn't want to see you more happy than himself. So be careful of this. Make sure you marry the man that wants you, the one that likes you, not the one that you want, but the one that really wants you.
Years ago, and you came out of the hospital straight away, you've been sitting around all this time, so if you make a
Keep going with a newborn baby.
yeah, and it's not easy for me either. Right, I didn't give birth.
Show this to your man, why don't you? Because I don't even want to call him your husband. She gave birth to your baby. She pushed a human being out of her that is maybe that big, and that baby was that big. This big. And you want her to slave over the counter to make a roast for your parents 2 days after she gave birth. The pain, the bleeding, the having to take care of a baby, no sleep, all after a trauma that she just went through. You're disgusting. Baby girl, you deserve better. And tell him to make his own damn roast. They're his parents.
Pardon?
Can you do a roast?
I know damn well that man did just not ask her to make a roast 2 days after she just gave birth. 2 days. I'm sorry, but you should be offering to make her a roast because she just gave birth to your baby. It is men like this that just keep on surprising me. Like, every day they surprise me. She should not be doing anything for the next couple weeks. This just irks me in so many ways.
Pardon?
Can you do a roast?
Sis, I would have cut that shit short. You understand? It's no reason to go back and forth with him about a roast. I would have been like, bitch, you go make that motherfucking roast and get the fuck out of my face. Girl, don't be scared. Cut him off. Cut that shit short, sis. Cut it short. Next.
You want me to do a roast?
Yeah.
Can I just remind you?
Leave him now. Take the baby, clean out the bank accounts, and get the fuck out of there.
Pardon?
Can you do a roast?
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to throw the whole man away. The whole man. Throw the whole thing away. Because how does he expect you to get up and go into the kitchen and cook a whole roast, which you can't just whip that up in 5-10 minutes. Cook a whole roast for his mom and dad who are coming over to see your 2-day-old baby that you just hee-hawed out of your hoo-ha. What? How for? What come? What? You better chunk that whole man in the bin. The whole thing. Just chunk him.
Pardon?
Can you do a roast?
Is that guy completely and utterly fucking insane? You know, I just came home now from a gig and I've got endometriosis. And so the pain was so excruciatingly bad that I had to take double my painkillers. That woman pushed a whole human out of her after making the human over 9 months. That child sat on her urethra, was flopping around inside her like a fish, and this bruh has got time to ask. The fact that he even asked that question. You see, this is why I believe not everybody should have kids. And this is why I didn't have kids. But this is why I believe you should have to get a license to have a kid. Because if that is the kind of man that he is, can you imagine the kind of father he's going to be?
So, as you've seen, a lot of people are dragging him and coming hard for him because honestly, he doesn't have sense. Anyway, this whole video reminded me of the tradition that we have, the postpartum care tradition that we have in Nigeria. Now, in Nigeria, after a woman gives birth, in some culture, like the Igbo culture, which a lot of other people have kind of adopted, the mother of the wife that gave birth would stay with the woman, her husband, and the kid for like 3 months. So she's going to stay with them. She's going to help the new mother. She's going to help the new mother cook food, take care of the new mother, take care of the baby, just allow the mother to relax and try and recover. Then she will also help with the massaging and also teach her how to do some things with the baby. Also the tummy, how to wrap her tummy so that the extended flesh and muscle can revert back to the size that it was before she was pregnant and gave birth. So the mother of the woman would come and basically just take care of the mother and the house and the baby. Now, in some cases where the mother of the woman is not alive or she cannot be there to do the omugo, the female relatives of the woman can also come and help out. So after that 3 months, usually it's 3 months, after the 3 months, the mother is giving gifts, cash gifts, and all kinds of gifts to send her back to her home, so she's not leaving them empty-handedly. But usually, because it's the mother of the wife, the mother of the woman, it's just like she's taking care of her daughter. So most times she might not even want a lot of gifts, but it's the tradition. Now, like I said, if the mother of the woman is not alive or cannot be there, the female relatives of the woman can also help out. Now, if there are no female relatives of the woman, the mother of the husband can also help out, can also do the omugobo. It's in some cultures, it's actually not the mother of the wife that does that omugo, it's the mother of the husband. But personally, I feel like the best person or the best people to stay with the mother as a relative, to stay with the new mother as a relative, is the mother of the woman or the female relatives of the woman, because there's this closeness that you have with your own personal mother as a woman, and there are some things that your mother would not even want you to do at all. She'd be like, okay, it's my child, or your female relative or cousins or whatever, be like, oh, it's my family. Then if it's the mother or the female relatives of the husband, except you have this very, very tight connection or relationship with them, it's going to be like as if you are telling your mother-in-law or your in-law to do things, and you'll not be feeling a particular kind of way. There's even this situation that occurred where the mother-in-law came for the omugo and basically did nothing, and the wife was telling the husband, and the husband was feeling like as if she did not want the his mother to be there, and she was like, your mother is not helping out, she's even making things worse. It was until maybe I think she talked to someone, she sent a message to a blog, and the blog put it on the blogger put it on her page, and people started saying that the mother-in-law was wrong and everything. That's when he now realized that, oh, she was actually saying the truth, and what was going on was not right. Anyway, that's my own opinion. I believe the best relative to help out with that postpartum care is the mother of the new mother, the mother of the wife. Anyway, that is a tradition that is done in Nigeria. Now, I think it's done in other African countries, but I'm not sure. If you're an African or you're another culture and it's done in your culture, please let us know in the comment section. Now, another country that I know does that postpartum care is South Korea. Now, let's check out these videos describing how they carry out postpartum care in South Korea.
Let's talk about postpartum care facilities in Korea. I don't have kids yet. I recently saw a video of this creator showing her experience at a postpartum care facility in Korea. Usually when you give birth in Korea, you go straight to postpartum care as soon as you give birth. And yes, I'm talking about going from the hospital to postpartum care facility straight away. Don't worry, your baby goes with you. In Korea, postpartum care facilities aren't really considered as luxury that only some people can enjoy. It's considered a standard because Koreans really believe in focusing on healing your body as soon as you give birth. There's a big emphasis on really caring for the mother's mental, emotional, and physical health, and the mother has to be taken care of in order for her to take care of the baby. So anyway, there are so many different options of postpartum care facilities in Korea for this reason, and the spectrum of the pricing is quite wild. Usually you are in this facility for about a week to 2 weeks, and the pricings can go from $2,500 all the way up to even 20 grand. A lot of these places are all inclusive. Your meals, snacks, massages, facial care, body care, hair care are covered. Depending on the package you choose, they will usually include 3 different massages and up to 4 different personal training sessions and some scalp therapy as well. And usually while you're there are also many mothers who have just given birth around the same time as you. So everyone's really there for emotional support for each other as well. And I heard that a lot of the times that bond is so strong that they actually end up creating their own parent group. So their kids can grow up together and they can always stay in touch. So for some people, they get really picky on which facility they make the reservation at because they're looking to be part of a certain social club, as in they want their kids to be around other wealthy kids.
Am I a bad mom if I let other people take care of my baby? Right after I gave birth in Korea, I decided to stay at postpartum care facility. It's like a hotel for baby and new mother. So this is how it works. Most of the times, the nurses take care of the baby while mothers rest. I'll call you if baby needs to be fed or, if they're crying too much. As a breastfeeding mother, they called you kind of quite often, but still I got lots of rest. But unless they call you, you get to rest eating this delicious, nutritious food, and you rest a lot. And frankly, I felt like I had too much time. Even though I just had my baby, I feel like I didn't get to hold much. So what did I do? I slept, I went outside and stretched, I used a massage chair, and took a shower. For me, the food was the best part. They fed you 3 meals a day and 2 snacks, and every meal consisted of seaweed soup, which detoxify your body and increase your milk supply. And every single meal was very, very nutritious, and it was designed to help mother heal faster and give you strength.
This is the 4th floor of the aftercare center here, and this is a section where the husbands get to wash their wives' hair. So I'll be doing that here for my wife, just like the ones you find at the salon. And then here they have another like sanitization center for the baby bottles. And then if you want to relax, you can come here and enjoy some massages and stuff. I think that's like a little, you sit on it, it heats you up a little bit. And this one's for the feet. We have something similar to one of these in our room too, where we can heat up our feet. But so here's a little bit more of the aftercare center. Here's a view of Seoul. So
I hired a nanny for $20 a day, and she's not just any nanny. She's called a postpartum nanny. So what does postpartum nanny do? Well, she cooks delicious food, she cleans and do dishes and everything, but her main job is to take care of the baby. Actually, this program is through Korean government, and it's designed to help on new mothers. Because it's government assistance program, that's why I was able to hire a nanny for such a cheap price. Korea definitely knows how to take care of new mothers. So since this was our first time hiring a nanny, my husband and I kind of felt awkward because we didn't know what to do while somebody else is doing our dishes and take care of the baby. She even took care of our toddler.
What $10,000 Korean postpartum care center for 2 weeks feels like? Private driver picks you up from hospital. They do your laundry and provide one-on-one yoga class. Food 3 times a day. Sometimes fancy food. Dessert 2 times a day.
you have the platform and all. And
2.5 million won. Breast pump.
So it really depends on how long you use the service for and the type of service that you have. We used the twin type, so we had 2 helpers for 2 weeks, and that cost 250,000 won. But you could have the service for a month or longer. You just have to use the service within the first 60 days of the babies being born. And typically you'd only have 1 helper, or however many babies you have is how many helpers you would have. So for 2 weeks it was 250,000 won, but the government will actually pay you a percentage of that back. So it's going to be less than that. And they take into consideration your household income and how much money you paid towards the national health insurance. So it's going to be less than what you pay up front. And you can actually use the money that you get for having babies and the monthly stipend that the government gives. So really, it could end up being free.
Now, when I first knew about this postpartum care in South Korea, I was very, very impressed because the South Korean government is actually involved in the whole thing. So everybody is kind of entitled to the postpartum care. There are different types. You have different prices, different ranges, and it's just such a good thing, especially for those who don't have female relatives like in Nigeria. Like now, personally, my mom is dead. So if I get pregnant or have children, I don't have a mother to come and take care of me after the pregnancy, after I've given birth. But with South Korea, it's like whether you have a mother, whether you don't have a mother, you are entitled to it if you want to use the services. So you have those that will come to your house. That's the postpartum nanny, and the prices are like, the first time I heard about it, the person said the person paid $50 and it was subsidized by the government. So they didn't even pay. That was the $50. The $50 was what they paid, but the nanny and the service was getting more than that because it was subsidized by the government. Now, from the videos you watch that some people will go to the aftercare. It's like a hotel, which is amazing, especially if you don't want a lot of guests coming to visit you when you've just given birth. So it reduces the amount of, oh, I have to talk to this person, or germs that people from outside can bring to your child. So I love that about the South Korean postpartum care. And like I said, I love the fact that almost everybody can afford it. There are different price ranges, different types. So you have from $50 to as much as $20, as bougie as you want to get. And like the girl explained, the first person explained, that some people will go to the wealthier place because they know that's where the wealthier people are going to be there, so that they can form a community. That is a great thing that the South Korean government and South Korean people have done. I actually think that every country should have something like that, because postpartum care after like 2 weeks to 1 month after the woman has given birth is very, very important. It's very, very important, and I know a lot of people neglect that. There's one time somebody was discussing this postpartum care online. Some women who are European were also complaining that they wish they had this kind of thing in their country. They wish they had a community that will help, that will help after they gave birth. That one said her neighbor was the one that helped her, and she was so grateful because she did not have family coming to help. So I feel like every country should actually have something like what the South Korean government is doing. Now, I know that some people in Nigeria, because of, like I said, your mother might not be around, your mother might not be able to come and assist you. You might not have family, female relatives that are close to you that might be able to leave their own families and come to take care of you. Now, I know that people they're offering the Omugos services, but I saw someone that was offering it, and the price that she said her services cost was kind of steep to me. It was not really affordable by everybody. But then it's a private service now. Like I said, the South Korean government has helped to subsidize a lot with the postpartum care fees. So if something like that was happening in Nigeria or other countries, it will make it affordable for a lot of people. Anyway, I don't know what you guys thought about this whole video. Do you think it was right to try to get her to make a roast for his parents, knowing that she had just given birth after 2 days? Do you also think that the postpartum care tradition that I talked about that occurs in Nigeria and South Korea is something that you would consider if you are a female that wants to give birth, or if you're a female that has given birth? Do you think it was something that you would have loved when you gave birth? I would love to hear your thoughts about postpartum care in your country and what you think about the postpartum care tradition in Nigeria and South Korea, and also what you thought about the guy trying to get his wife to make a roast 2 days after she gave birth. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you